NCC Cadets. NCC, which stands for National Cadet Corps, is a youth organization in India that focuses on character building and leadership development. For the young NCC cadets who have great desire to become a part of Indian Army, Indian Navy and Indian Air Force, you too can crack Service Selection Board. Once again, I am delighted to welcome you all for this interaction session. Hope you all will enjoy this session.
Being an Indian, it's a responsibility to respect our motherland. So, I request everyone to rise up for Tamil Thai Valthu.
You may think your light is small, but it can make a huge difference in other people's lives. This is a symbolic movement that signifies the dispelling of darkness and the igniting of thought and enlightenment. Light has always been a source of hope and inspiration. It represents the possibility of new beginnings, the power of transformation, and the pursuit of truth. The lamp of knowledge is not just a symbol of individual enlightenment. It is also a symbol of collective progress. So let us light this lamp today, not just for ourselves, but for all humanity. Let this light shine brightly, illuminating the path to a better future. We call upon one cadet to light the lamp. Thank you, all the dignitaries and cadets.
I am glad to welcome Flying Officer Ms. E. Sivarupini Ma'am from Sengundar Engineering College to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning to one and all present here. With a spirit of comradeship and leadership, we extend heartfelt welcome to each and everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of NCC unit to celebrate the accomplishments of NCC officers and cadets here at Vivekananda Educational Institutions. Today, we are honored to have the great personalities of Indian Armed Forces who wear the token of hardship and dedication. Their commitment, faith in their Creator makes them victorious and brings glory to our Mother India. My warmest welcome to our distinguished Chairman and Secretary, Vidyaratna, Hintratna, Professor Dr. M. Karunanidhi sir, a man behind these thousands of women, who laid the seeds of NCC among the women. Though in his absence, we welcome you, sir. We are glad to welcome Professor S. Kupuswamy sir, Executive Director, Vivekananda Educational Institution, whose sincerity and smart work led the foundation of success. We welcome you, sir. It's a great privilege to welcome our principal, Dr. K.C.K. Vijaykumar sir, VCEW, whose unwavering commitment and assistance have made this program a grand one. We welcome you, sir. We render our hearty welcome to the chief guest of the day, Commodore Atul Kumar Rastogi, VSM, Deputy Directorate General of Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, Andaman and Nicobar. His commitments and dedication in the armed forces and NCC as a benchmark for many young minds. We are honored by your dignified presence. We welcome you, sir. We feel privileged to welcome Group Captain V. Muruganandam sir, Commanding Officer, 5T and Askbar and Tech NCC Salem, who is a guiding force behind this great day. We welcome you, sir. We render our greetings to the commanding officers of 12T and NCC, Lieutenant Colonel Dinesh Raja, sir. We welcome you, sir. And the commanding officer of 11T and Signal Corps, NCC, Lieutenant Colonel Suraj Nair, sir. We welcome you, sir. And also the principals from various colleges, ANOs, PI staffs, CTOs, caretakers, HODs, teaching and non-teaching faculty members, media friends for this occasion. We welcome you, sirs and madams. Last but not least, I welcome the enthusiastic and energetic NCC cadets of all the battalion and the squadron units to take the inspirational ideas from here. We are gathered here to ignite the spirit of future armed forces in the path of patriotism and leadership for the betterment of our nation, towards prosperity and the sense of pride. Once again, I extend my warm welcome to all the great personalities and the NCC family who have come together with the spirit of honor and inspiration to the next generation. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to invite Flying Officer Ms. R. Sasitra ma'am from KSR IET to give introduction of the chief guest.
A warm good morning to all gathered here. It's my privilege and honor to introduce to you a remarkable leader who has made significant contributions to our nation. Today, I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our chief guest, Commodore Atul Kumar Rastogi, the Deputy Director General, Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and Andaman Nicobar Directorate, a distinguished alumnus of Sainik School Tilaya and the National Defence Academy. Commodore Atul Kumar Rastogi holds a distinguished track record in defense. His extensive experience and dedication to his work have made him an invaluable asset to our nation. Commodore Atul Kumar Rastogi was commissioned into the Indian Navy on 1st January 1989. He underwent his naval training aboard a variety of ships, emerging as one of the best cadets and second in order of merit as a midshipman. In 1991, he was selected as the commissioning naval officer of the first indigenous 1241 RE Viputhi, and thereafter he was an instructor at the Naval Academy, INS Mandovi, Goa. He was selected for the long navigation and direction course and graduated at the head of his course in 1995. He navigated Kanjar till December 1996 and thereafter he was selected as the Commissioning Naval Officer Second of Delhi. In January 1999, he was promoted to the rank of Lieutenant Commodore and appointed as Naval Officer Delhi. In May 2000, he took charge as Executive Officer Niragat and thereafter assumed command of Akshay. He underwent the 58th Staff Course at Defence Service Staff College, Wellington in 2002 to 2003 and was listed for Commander in May 2003. After a brief stint as Joint Data Network Operations Officer at Naval Headquarters, he attended the Joint and Combined Staff Course at Joint Forces Staff College. Upon return, he carried out the duties of Special Warfare Operator to Deputy Chief of the Naval Staff till September 2005. He was thereafter posted at Defence Service Staff College, Wellington as DS till December 2007. Thereafter, he commanded Dungari, where he was instrumental in progressing trials of new induction of equipment Revati and Marich. Upon promotion to the rank of captain on 25th July 2009, he attended the 22nd Naval Higher Command course. After completion, he joined the college as DS, where he was instrumental in shifting the college from Mumbai to Goa and setting it up in new location. Upon conclusion of IVO's course in September 2013, he was appointed as the Deputy President of Navy Selection Board at Coimbatore on 8th October 2013, where he was instrumental in running second temporary board within the existing infrastructure at periodic intervals. He was constituted in the rank of Commodore on 25th July 2014 and assumed charge of NSB at Visakhapatnam on 17 March 2016. In October 2017, he moved to NSB at Coimbatore, where he served till December 2019 when the board was closed down. He thereafter served at DSSSC Wellington at SI till November 21 and has taken over as Deputy Director General of NCC Directorate Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and Andaman Nicobar on 8th December 2021. Commodore Atul Kumar Rasdogi is a distinguished scholar holding MSc degree in Nautical Science as well as in Defence and Strategic Studies. He has been recognized and commended for his exceptional service by the Flag Officer Commanding in Chief, South, on 15th August 2009. His hobbies includes reading and watching movies. He keeps himself fit through walking, swimming and tennis. We are privileged to have Commodore Atul Kumar Rasdogi with us today, and we look forward to gaining insight from his wealth of experience and expertise. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to him. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am. It's time to honor our chief guest. Now, I'm delighted to welcome our Executive Director, Professor S. Kupasamy from Vivekananda Educational Institution to present a memento as a token of love to our beloved chief guest, Commodore Atul Kumar Rastogi, Deputy Director General, NCC Directorate, Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, Andaman and Nicobar.
Now, I would like to invite our chief guest, Commodore Atul Kumar Rastogi.
Over to you, ED, sir.
Okay. Good morning to all of you who are present in this magnificent event. Distinguished chief guest of this morning function, Commodore Atul Kumar Rastogi, the Deputy Director General of NCC Directorate, comprising of Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry, and Andaman and Nicobar. The distinguished Commanding Officer of Salem NCC Unit, Mr. Muruganandam, the Principal of Vivekananda College of Engineering, Dr. Vijay Kumar, the distinguished officers of the NCC who have come from Salem and other units, my fellow colleagues from other colleges, the principals who have come on our request, the PIs from NCC, ANOs, CTOs, and above all, the NCC cadets of Army and Air Wing of this Salem region and also the Erode region who have come over here to listen to Commodore Atul Kumar Rastogi's speech today. And my dear students from Vivekananda institutions, people from media, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a great day for Vivekananda educational institutions. Just we have raised our first unit of NCC in our Arts and Science College recently. And we are also trying to get few more units in the days to come. At this point of time, it's indeed a pride and proud moment for us to organize the Deputy Director General's meet with the students where he is going to talk how you can crack your SSB, which will give you an input not only to crack an SSB, but also for your life, how to achieve greater goals, irrespective of what you do in the days to come. We are really grateful to the management at this point of time, I would like to say, for giving the concurrence to organize this great meet at Vivekananda Auditorium of the Vivekananda Group of Institutions. Of course, no function can be done without much of hard work. I would like to really appreciate all those who have worked for the last 1 month, including the commanding officer, Mr. Muruganandam, to make this function to go on very well. I would like to join the flying officer, Sivapurani, in extending a very warm welcome to our chief guest of this morning, Commodore Atul Kumar Rastogi, Deputy Director General. On behalf of the management, on behalf of me, and also on behalf of my colleagues and students of Vivekananda educational institutions, we will welcome you, sir. Your presence really is going to make a difference in the minds of the younger generations, particularly the women students of this institution and also the NCC cadets who have come from various other institutes. I don't want to take much of your time except saying all the best to every one of you for your bright future. And of course, NCC is the one which I regard as the highest in the school and the college, as you are trying to understand the integrity of the nation and also the security of the nation, which is very, very important. Many a times we see that it is missing in the general public. So I want you people to imbibe the culture of integrity and of course the security and nationality in your mind, and also to take it forward with your friends, neighbors and so on, so that the belongingness to this country will be nurtured in the days to come. My best wishes to every one of you, and of course let me once again welcome you all for this grand function at the Vivekananda institutions. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite our chief guest, Commodore Atul Kumar Rastogi, Deputy Director General, to honor our Executive Director, sir, with a memento as a token of love. Thank you, sir.
Certificate receivers, be ready. Keep silent. I repeat, certificate receivers, be ready. Eleven TN Signal Koi NCC. Captain K.R. Nadrajan, KSR College of Engineering, Tirchangodu. Cadet R. Ishwaramurthy, KSR College of Engineering, Tirchangodu. Cadet M. Nivya, Pavai Arts and Science for Women. Request is to come near the dais. Followed by 15 TN Battalion NCC, Captain N. Maithili, Sri Vasavi College E Road, to receive the certificate of appreciation. Major M. Kavita, Vellalar College for Women. I request everyone to come near the dais.
Uniform for them is a matter of pride, and medals on them is a pride. It's the time to distribute the certificate. We request all the achievers to collect the certificate.
11TN Signal Corps NCC Captain K.R. Nadrajan from KSR College of Engineering, Tiruchengodu, to receive the certificate of appreciation. Followed by Cadet R. Ishwaramurthy from KSR College of Engineering, Tiruchengodu, to receive the certificate of appreciation. Followed by Cadet M. Nivya from Pavai Arts and Science for Women to receive the certificate of appreciation. (15TN Battalion NCC), we call upon Captain N. Maithili from C. Vasani College, Erode, to receive the certificate of appreciation. We call upon Major N. Kavita from Vellalar College for Women to receive the certificate of appreciation. We call upon Flying Officer Dr. M. Shivakumar sir from Kandasamy Kandas College, Belur, to receive the certificate of appreciation. Now, I welcome R. Sajitra ma'am from KSR Institution of Engineering to receive the certificate of appreciation.
Flying Officer Sivakumar sir from KKC is receiving the appreciation certificate. We call upon Flying Officer Sachitra ma'am from KSR College to receive the certificate of appreciation.
Now, I would like to welcome Cadet Sergeant Hinduja from Sengundar Engineering College, Tiruchengodu, to receive the certificate of appreciation. We call upon Mrs. V. Ramya, Assistant, to receive the certificate of appreciation. We call upon Mrs. M. Sandhya, Assistant, to receive the certificate of appreciation. We call upon Cadet Under Officer Kavya Dashni from Vellalar College for Women to receive the certificate of appreciation. We We call upon Corporal Preeti from KKC College, Paramati Velu to receive the certificate of appreciation. Thank you. Congratulations to all the achievers.
It's time for cultural program, so I request all the dignitaries to sit down.
Now,
I request all of you to keep silent.
I request everyone to maintain silent.
now it's time to take a look at enthusiastic cultural performance by NCC Cadets, Vicos and BNYS.
Once again, I repeat, please make a silent.
Once again, I welcome all the cultural performers by NCC Cadets, Vicos and BNOS.
Good morning to one and all present here. It is a privilege for us, the cadets of Vivekananda College of Arts and Science for Women Autonomous, to perform this classical dance form which portrays the love, elegant sacrifice, empathy of Lord Krishna and Radha. As Radha is the love energy of Lord Krishna and her love is equal to ocean, when compared to the other gopiyas is like some pool of water. Thanking you.
स्वागतं कृष्णा शरणागतं कृष्णा स्वागतं कृष्णा
Wow, wonderful performance. I request next performers to the stage.
Thank you.
Good morning to all the dignitaries present here. We, the cadets of 15th Tamil Nadu Battalion, representing Vivekananda College of Arts and Science for Women, Autonomous, is going to perform a contemporary dance form, which is a fusion of Western, semi-classical, and aerobics, which praises Lord Ganesha. Thank you.
Thank you, cadets. It was a splendid performance. I invite next performance to the stage.
I invite next performers to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. We are students of BNYS from Swami Vivekananda Naturopathy and Medical College. We are going to do yoga performance. Thank you.
guys, it was awesome performance. Now I invite all the dignitaries to appreciate the cultural performance by giving them a gift box.
Hello.
Now I happily invite the first team members from Vikas to come and receive your gift. I repeat, now I happily invite the first team members from Vikas to come and receive your gift. Thank you, sir. Now I invite the second team members from Vikas to come and receive your gift. Thank you, sir. Now I happily invite the third team members from BNYers to come and receive your gifts. Thank you, dignitaries. It is with great pleasure and honor to extend a warm welcome to our Honorable Chief Guest, Commodore Atul Kumar Rastogi, Deputy Director General, to deliver the Presidential Address. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Respected ED sir, respected principals of all the institutions who are present here, Commanding Officer 5 TN Air, other commanding officers, heads of department, members of the faculty, associate NCC officers, PI staff, support staff, members of the media, other students who have been detailed to come and attend to my talk, and my dear cadets of Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and Andaman Nicobar Directorate. At the outset, I wish to thank Almighty for His blessing. I wish to thank our predecessors who have set up such a beautiful institution in this part of the world, especially for women. I wish to thank the present management for encouraging NCC, setting it up, and choosing to organize such a extensive program. I wish to thank Group Commander Kuwai Group for organizing my visit, organizing this interaction in a very professional manner. I wish to thank all the commanding officers for their active interest, active coordination. As ED sir mentioned, this program has been in the offing for a month, and I can see why so much of effort has gone in, and how I can imagine the amount of effort which has gone in. I wish to thank everybody who's been involved in this, and my special thanks to the cadets of Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and Andaman Nicobar Directorate for their active interest in NCC. Before I start, I have one or two announcements. You all can take off your caps and be comfortable. You all can comb your hair also in case some pictures are taken. You all come better. In case any of you feel tired or are tired, you all can quietly go to sleep. There'll be no problem from my side. In case some of you need to go out of the audience or go out of the auditorium, you can quietly go. I will not stop you. Those of you who chose to stay should maintain silence and should interact when invited, one at a time, so that the noise level in the auditorium is under control. Now, my topic today is, you too can crack SSB. So it's a very specific subject on which Group Commander and the commanding officers have requested me to interact with the NCC students. And ED sir has mentioned that he has invited all other students to also come and attend to this. So I will not be able to digress from the subject, because the subject is a huge one. And as somebody was mentioning, or somebody brought it in my biodata, that I have served in SSB for 6 years plus. I have interviewed 2,000 candidates, and I have a certain idea about SSB which can help you in cracking SSB. You can only crack SSB if you are interested. Now, this talk I had made on few occasions when it was of a duration of about 80 minutes, based on feedback from cadets. The talk of 80 minutes was also uploaded on YouTube. Based on feedback of cadets, I had made it into 6 parts so that cadets can view different parts on different occasions. So today's talk is also going to be in how many parts? 6 parts, good. So this side of audience is awake. Now the first part is, anybody? Any cadet? The first part is, what is SSB and what do we assess in SSB? Are you all with me? Good. SSB stands for Services Selection Board. It's a board in which we select your suitability for joining our services. Services are Army, Navy and Air Force. And even Coast Guard also nowadays has the same SSB. So it's a Services Selection Board. It's a board of officers. The board of officers consists of 3 techniques. Interview technique, where we interview. Psychology technique, where we see your psych. And group testing, where we see your functioning in a group. So officers of 3 technique form a part of the board where we assess your suitability for joining or being selected as an officer in the armed forces. These SSB have been in existence since our independence. SSBs have stood the test of time. I was in SSB from October 2013 to December 2019. During that period, we were assessing 15 officer-like qualities. And here, this is the first part of my talk, history of SSB, which I have just mentioned, and the officer-like qualities which we assess. Part 2 will be stage 1. Part 3 will be psych technique. Part 4 will be group testing. Part 5, interviewing technique. And part 6 will be conference procedure. Are you all with me? Yes, sir. Okay. So which part 1? Which are these 15 OLQs? So can anybody know, has anybody got any idea of which OLQs we assess? Anybody has heard of any OLQs? Nobody has heard? Okay. We assess 15 OLQs. These are categorized into 4 factors. The first factor is planning and organizing, where we assess 4 OLQs. We assess your affective intelligence, reasoning ability, organizing ability, and power of expression. Remember, when you get selected through SSB and aspire to become an armed forces officer, the first thing you have to have is a functioning mind which can plan and organize. As any military officer is required to function in unfamiliar settings. You are sitting in Salem, Tiruchengood, Erode. If you get selected after training, your requirement or your deployment will be in Siachen, Kashmir, Jammu, Bihar, UP, different parts of the world, even international also. The first thing you need is a functioning mind, in which we see 4 qualities: affective intelligence, reasoning ability, organizing ability, and power of expression. What is affective intelligence? It is different from basic intelligence. And essentially, in this, we see whether you are able to find solutions to problems, practical solution. And the second aspect we see is resourcefulness. None of us will have everything which we want. None of us will have all the resources at our disposal. So you need to be able to find practical solution to problems. And that is what we check in affective intelligence. This is different from basic intelligence, which is what we normally assess in exams, where we have to reproduce certain, derive something, find some solution, write down some theories. The second thing we see is reasoning ability. Can you see essentials of a problem? Do you have reasoning ability? When you get a problem, are you able to identify what are the aspects of a problem? Only when you are able to identify, then you can attempt to find a solution. The third thing we see is, anybody? Organizing ability. Are you able to organize a task? Are you able to organize the resources? So those are the aspects we see in organizing ability. And the last part we see is power of expression. Do you have power of expression? Are you able to express your ideas both in writing and in speech? Have you all understood? Who has understood? Who can repeat the 4 OLQs? Yes, good. Somebody is getting up. Yes, what are the 4 OLQs? Okay, good. Brilliant. Which college?
Sir, VCEW, Vellalar College.
Vellarar, Erode, Perundurai. Erode. Yes, I have been to that KEC. Yes. So with that we have finished the factor 1. Then we see something called factor 2. What is factor 2? Social adjustment. In this, we assess 3 OLQs. Social adaptability, cooperation, and sense of responsibility. What is social adaptability? Military officer is required to work with different people. You will not only find Tamilians in military. You will find people from Bihar, UP, Punjab, Haryana, Himachal, everybody. You should be able to adapt in various situations. So that is the quality we see is social adaptability. Then we see cooperation. Are you able to cooperate? Are you able to work in a team? And the last part we see is sense of responsibility. What is sense of responsibility? Okay. Sense of responsibility essentially is, do you have understanding of rules and regulations? Are you disciplined? Are you duty bound? Are you all getting me? So can anybody repeat from this side, what is factor 2? Which are the 3 OLQs we see? Anybody? Yes, good. Kindly stand up. Which are the 3 OLQs we see in factor 2? Good, brilliant. Which college? KEC. So today only KEC has had breakfast. Nobody else has had breakfast. VCEW cadets are only working here. They're not getting food to eat. Okay. With that we have finished factor 2. Now we come to which factor? Factor 3. Very simple. Factor 3 has got 5 OLQs. Factor 3 is social effectiveness. First factor, planning and organizing. Second factor, adjustment. Third is social effectiveness. What are the 5 OLQs we see in this? First is initiative. Do you raise your hand? Do you take the first step? Do you take the first step to do something? That is the first requirement of being a leader. The second is self-confidence. Are you able to appreciate risk involved, be confident to do something? The third one is speed of decision. Anybody in a group who has a functioning mind, who takes a decision, will become a leader. This is what we see in SSB. Initiative, self-confidence, speed of decision. Fourth one is ability to influence the group. If you are made a leader of 10 people, do have the ability to influence a group. And the last part is liveliness. Liveliness means, do you maintain your pleasant disposition when some situation changes? Some tension happens. If you become morose, the entire group will become morose. So are you able to maintain your buoyancy? Are you able to maintain a pleasant disposition? Only when, as a leader, when you stand with pleasant disposition, will people listen to you. Am I right? If you become scared, if you display lack of confidence, people will not accept you as a leader. So we have just finished 5 OLQs under factor 3. So which cadet will repeat the 5 OLQs? Yes, good. Which college is this? Only KEC, okay. KEC, what are the 5 OLQs? No, use the mic.
Initiative, self-confidence, speed of decision, ability to influence a group, liveliness.
Liveliness, good, brilliant. Now we come to which factor? Factor 4. Factor 4 we assess 3 OLQs. Determination, courage, stamina. Determination means ability to persist. Courage means risk-taking ability. Stamina means ability to withstand protracted mental and physical strain and stress. Have you all understood? So in factor 4, we assess 3 OLQs, which are determination, courage, and stamina. So who will repeat the 3 OLQs of factor 4?
determination, courage, and stamina.
Which college? Okay, he is from KSRTC. Good college. Okay, so with that we come to end of part 1 of my talk, which is what is SSB and what are the 15 OLQs we assess in SSB. Now all of you will agree with me, since all of you look bright and brilliant, that these OLQs cannot be developed inside your home. This attitude cannot be developed just by theoretical classes. This attitude develops over a period of time. In the family you are born, with the brothers and sisters that you play with your friends that you play games, in school and college, if you have taken initiative, if you have raised your hand, if you have gone on the stage, if you have taken part in culturals, shooting, anything, if you have found time for academics, NCC, everything else, it is in this process of your school and college that you develop this OLQs automatically. So, while some of you may have already developed because you have been an active student, you have been a good student, you have adjusted well at home, some of you may take some more time to develop. So, if you have these OLQs in you, in your assessment, then you can go and try for SSB and aspire to become an officer in the armed forces. That is in case if you are interested. So with that, we come to end of part 1 of my talk. Now we move to part 2 of my talk. What is part 2 of my talk? Anybody? Part 2 of my talk? Part 2 of my talk is stage 1. Are you able to understand? Okay, which college is this? This college only. Okay, okay. The gate is behind. In case anybody is not interested, can go home also. Those of you who are interested, welcome. Part 2 of my talk is stage 1. What is stage 1? When I joined the SSB in 1984, we didn't have stage 1. We just had one SSB. You wrote NDA exam, you went for SSB, you either qualified or did not qualify. And then you went for medicals. Nowadays, in the 1990s, military was short of officers. Military needed more officers. And then we opened up our military for something called Short Services Commission. We did away with the system of written exam for some entries. And we said, let Short Service Commission officers apply to Naval Headquarters, Army Headquarters, Air Headquarters, and directly come to SSB centers for SSB. So now there was no filtering. So then we introduced a system of stage 1. 2-stage testing process, stage 1 and stage 2. Stage 1 is a crude testing process, not a very accurate one, but it is used for filtering out selectable candidates and filtering in selectable candidates and filtering out non-selectable candidates. In stage 1, before you come to stage 1 or before you think that you have OLQs in you and you should aspire to become an officer in the armed forces, you must look out for application forms for various entries into the Army, Navy or Air Force as a defense officer. Now, defense branches in our military have expanded and each branch is open to certain number of degrees. It means if you are B, EEE, you can become a technical officer. You can go through CDS. If you are biotechnology, you may become something. So, depending on your degree, you can apply for various branches of the military. That part you'll have to do research, you'll have to find out yourself, or some of your CEOs of NCC units will guide you. Once you fill up an application form, be careful in filling up application form, see your suitability. Then if you get a call letter for SSB, then you prepare and report at SSB centers. This is part 2 of my talk. Now, you must report at SSB centers with your complete set of documents, whatever documents they have asked you to come with. You must try and report a day early if possible. Book your own tickets, arrive early, stay in a lodge, so that you are settled, you are at rest, you are at peace. Some SSBs call you to report at 6 a.m. in the morning. Now you cannot book a train and come there at 4 o'clock. If your train is late, your chance is gone. So you must try and come a day early, book your own tickets. You will be a little more confident, you will be a little more comfortable. Once you report at the selection center, at your boards, somebody will give you instructions. These are the tests, please pay attention. Pay attention to all the briefings. If you finish your routine in the morning, come to the board, come in a good set of dresses, come in a good set of clothes. Don't wear jeans, don't wear chappal. Military is all about formality. Can't come casually and aspire to become an officer in the armed forces. Can't come in jeans, can't come in chappals. Wear some trouser top if you're a girl, trouser shirt if you're a boy. You can wear a suit also, doesn't matter, but regardless of that, but you should be formally dressed. With me? Now, normally we conduct 2 tests. And the first test is OIR test, Officer Intelligence Rating Test. In this, we conduct 2 tests. First is a verbal intelligence test, and the second one is a non-verbal intelligence test. All this talk is available on the YouTube for you to refer back, so you can pay attention. Need not make notes if you don't want to. Now, in verbal intelligence test, essentially, if you practice before you go, you are better off. Even if you don't practice, if you take adequate rest, have slept well in the night, have rested the previous day, then you can answer this intelligence test in a better manner. Somebody will take you in an auditorium like this and conduct those intelligence tests, pay attention to the briefing, and answer those 2 intelligence tests. Each test is about 20 to 30 minutes. There are about 40 to 50 questions. Answer them to the best of your ability. Verbal needs verbal response. Non-verbal means some figures, some diagrams, something else to be made. If there is a triangle up, there's a triangle down, there's a triangle left, what is the next figure? Maybe triangle to the right. So that way there are figures and diagrams. So these are the 2 intelligence tests which we do at the SSB center. Based on this, we generate something called Officer Intelligence Rating Scale. And we will assess you as OIR 1, OIR 2, OIR 3, OIR 4, OIR 5. Has anybody read about SSB before? Anybody? Any NCC cadet, non-NCC cadet? Have you read little? Okay, understood. So, once you finish the intelligence test, then you will be asked to move out, and then you will be called in a classroom for PPDT. What is PPDT? Anybody? Yes?
Sir, picture perception descriptive test, sir.
Okay, good. PPDT is essentially a picture perception and discussion test. So once you are in the auditorium, you have finished your intelligence test, then you will be shown a picture. Picture like this can be shown. There is a picture will be shown to you, which you can see little, you have to appreciate little. Based on that, you have to write a story. Any story is something of past, something of present, and something of future. Suppose there is a picture shown with 1,000 boys and girls seated in an auditorium with one man with a mic. Now you have to make a story. Somebody can make a story. There are boys and girls of whichever region you are from, and they have been forced to come and sit in an auditorium and listen to a boring talk, and then they all have been put to sleep, and then the guest speaker leaves. This is also a story. Somebody can make a little different story. There are students of this region who are interested in joining military. They have come here. they're looking forward to talk by a serving military officer who is speaking to them on a subject. So essentially, there is a picture which is shown to you, which is not very clear. You have to imagine something, you have to write a story and submit your answer sheet or story sheet to the instructor who is there. Any story should have a past, should have a present, and should have a future. Or should have an introduction, main body, and a conclusion. Good. So this is, once you finish this, now you are asked to move outside the auditorium. And then you will be called in groups of 12 to 15 for a discussion test. So in a small class, there will be 15 chairs like this, and you'll be asked to discuss on your story. So imagine if this is the case, chess number 1 to 15. Now you come to a classroom, and each of you will be asked to stand up and narrate your story for 1 minute. The story which you have written after seeing the picture. You narrate your story, you sit down, look at your group. Number 2 then narrates the story, number 3, number 15. Then 1 to 15, discuss and arrive at a common story. And then the discussion test is over. You all will be asked to move outside the auditorium, and then the results are announced. Which college is this? Vivekananda College. Okay, okay. Compulsory to come here. Okay. So with that, now you may recall that you had given an intelligence test which is being assessed. Then your performance in the discussion is being seen, and this is being seen by 3 officers: interviewing officer, psychologist, and a GTO. They will either assess you Y means yes, D means doubtful, N means no. So based on your performance in the discussion, the interviewing officer will see your personality. They assess a very crude way, whether they see whether you have some spark of getting selected or not, and then they mark you YDN. If you have higher intelligence rating, then a lower level of even a D will get you through the stage 1. So if you are OIR 1 assessor saying doubtful also, you will get through stage 2. 2, again doubtful, 3. So better to get best intelligence rating test and do as well in the discussion as much as possible. With that, a combination of intelligence rating and your performance in discussion will decide your sailing through stage 1 to stage 2. And with that, we come to the end of stage 1. Things to keep in mind: fill up correct application, see that your degree is for that SSB, arrive a little early, make your own arrangements, rest better in the night, do your intelligence test in your own manner, don't waste time looking here and there. Somebody will quickly throw you out of the class, then your SSB is over before it starts. Write down answers correctly, wear a good pair of clothes, participate in discussion. When you have to narrate your story, narrate in the best possible manner, focus in your group. After you've narrated your story, then you look at others. Listen to what story they are trying to say. See if their story is better, you can support them. Because it's a discussion test to arrive at a common story. If you know your story is something and her story is better, you can support her story. So this is where we see, we assess whether will you be able to, whether do you have any chance of getting selected. And then, based on this combination of intelligence rating and discussion test, we announce results of stage 1. So, if you are selected, then welcome to stage 2. And if you are not selected, then you leave the board and go home. Somebody will give you money for your ticket. So with that, we come to end of part 2 of my talk. And I will take a pause and take any questions if you have. Anybody has any question? Has anybody understood? Okay, who all have understood 80%? Raise your hands. Who all have understood 80% at least? Okay, down, down. Good, good. Who all have understood more than 50%? More than 50%. Okay, okay. Please put your hands down. Good, good. Okay, so since you all are understanding little, so with that we come to part 3 of my talk. So what is part 3 of my talk? Which testing? Which is part 3? What am I supposed to cover in part 3? Part 3. Anybody? Okay, since nobody knows what is part 3, I have no other option but to mention it myself. Part 3 of my talk is concerning psychology test. As I have mentioned before, in SSB, we assess your personality through 3 techniques. We assess the same 15 OLQs. Psychologist assesses the same 15 OLQs. GTO will assess the same one. And interviewing officer will assess the same one. Now, we take you to psychology test, which will be conducted on day 2 of SSB. Now, as I mentioned, between stage 1 and psychology test next day, there are 2 activities which are conducted. The first activity is filling up of PIQ form. What is PIQ form? Anybody? KEC, yes, come. What is PIQ form? Give him the mic, please. Okay, PIQ form.
It's a personal information question.
Okay, good. What is it? Use the mic.
Personal information question, sir.
Okay, good. Essentially, this form is called Personal Information Questionnaire. This is a form where you have to fill up your name, father's name, what does your father do, mother, brother, sister, education, sports, extracurricular activity, where are you from, which place do you belong to, and such details about yourself. You are required to fill up this form in 2 copies. That happens on the day the stage 1 is concluded. When you fill up this form in 2 copies, you deposit, and thereafter, one officer will brief you on your conduct at the selection board. Normally, they give you a briefing. Do not break rules, sleep early, deposit your mobile phones. Some candidates deposit one and keep the second one in their bag for chit-chatting in the night. So those things are best avoided. So these are the rules and regulations of the board. Whatever briefing is given to you, you please follow it, submit your PIQ, rest well in the night, and be ready for psychology test, which happens the next morning. Are you all with me? Who all are understanding? Is it making sense? Say yes, sir, at least, or no, sir? Yes, sir. Okay, good. Now, in psychology test, we carry out 4 tests. Now the crowd has reduced. In stage 1, 200 candidates may have come. Now you may have only 40 candidates. Those 40 candidates will be issued a chest number 1 to 40. All of you will be seated in a classroom. Somebody will brief you on the psychology test. Pay attention to the briefing, and thereafter be ready for first test. The first test is called, anybody? What is the first psychology test? Now we are at part 3 of my talk. Yes?
Thematic appreciation test, TAT.
Okay, good. TAT, good. Well done. So, first test is thematic apperception test. It is not appreciation, it is not perception. It is a combination of apperception, appreciation as well as perception. You are shown 12 pictures. Each picture in sequence. First picture you are shown for 30 seconds. You have to write a story for 4 minutes. Again, rules for writing story is same. What is the past, what is the present, and what is the future? Introduction, main body, conclusion. Any story which has more positivity, more action, something good is better than negative story where somebody is killing somebody, somebody is hating somebody. So that is the basic rule of stories. You should be able to have a mind of writing a 4-minute story, which essentially means 8 to 10 lines. If you write 1-line story, then nobody can get a peek into your psychology or in your psyche. So these are 11 pictures which are shown in sequence, and then you come to a 12th picture, which is a blank slide. Normally the first 2 stories you write from your conscious mind, but by the time you come to the 3rd story, you are into your subconscious. And by the time you come to 12th picture, you are already under pressure. Whatever comes to your mind, you will write it. Have you all understood? So this is TAT. Then we move you to something called WAT. WAT is called Word Association Test. We show you a word for 15 seconds. For the time that the word is on the screen, you have to make a sentence. We show you total 60 words. How much time will 60 words take? How much time will 60 words take if we show you one word for 15 seconds each? Anybody? 900 seconds. Oh, good. Good. 900 seconds is a good answer. How many minutes? How many minutes? Good. What degree are you pursuing? What degree are you pursuing? CSE. Which college? Everybody is from VCEW here. Okay, okay, good. So, VC, okay. Understood. Okay, okay. Okay, so we are on the second part of psychology test, and they are called WAT, Word Association Test. We will show you a word, flash it for 15 seconds, and then you have to write a sentence. Now, there are some negative words in between. There are some normal words. Whatever comes to your mind, you have to write it. Somebody will write a table can be a word, hate, kill, terrorist. Can be any word, women empowerment, desk, book. So there are normal day-to-day words which are in day-to-day use at that point of time. And you are supposed to write your response, whatever comes to your mind. What is the purpose of this? To assess your suitability, assess those same 15 OLQs which the psychologist is going to assess. Then we come to a test called SRT. SRT is Situation Reaction Test, where there are 60 situations already written, and you have to write your response against that situation. You are going to a mall and a fire breaks out. You are traveling in a bus and somebody troubles you. You are doing something, something happens. Day-to-day situations are given, and you are supposed to write a response. What will you do? And this is called Situation Reaction Test. And then we come to something called SDT. What is SDT? Self-Description Test. What do you think of yourself? What do your parents think of you? What do your teachers think of you? What do your friends think of you? I think first is what do your parents think of you? Teachers think of you? Friends think of you? What do you think of yourself? And what do you want to be? Or something like that. These are compiled in a dossier in the same booklet. And that goes to the psychologist, who has a copy of your personal information questionnaire. And then he or she analyzes your psyche, and through that, they analyze your personality. Some of the psychology tests are being used in companies also, other organizations also. So if you are from a poor family, and if you write table is near the bathroom, then it is acceptable response. If you are from a rich family and table you write near the bathroom, then it is not an acceptable response. It shows little lower level of intelligence. You can write table, I eat on the table. Again, acceptable response. Rich family, because the psychologist has a copy of your PIQ. That is how, based on your stories which you write, sentences which you write, reactions which you give to various situations, and your self-description test, psychologist analyzes those, whether you have those 15 OLQs or not. Things to keep in mind, or how can you prepare well, is first of all, take complete rest the previous evening. If you don't spend time chit-chatting with your friends, don't take guidance in the SSB. Every candidate is come for getting selected. So nobody will guide you correctly. You have to guide yourself. Whatever preparations you have made, so be it. When a picture is seen, write a story which comes to your mind. Don't think somebody else is going to write a better story or something like that. And try your luck. See what happens, whether you get selected or not selected. How can you practice? When you see a picture, write a story. Come, let me see. Somebody write a story on a picture you see here. Is everybody seeing a picture? Which picture am I talking about? This picture. So who will try a story now? Yes, good. Mike, please, Mike. Okay, so now we are doing a practical exercise. A picture is shown and one cadet has volunteered to write a story.
So one girl is dancing behind that picture. The dance is called Bharatanatyam. That's a traditional one in Tamil Nadu.
Okay, good. Let's clap for her. Okay, now here she has given a story without preparation for 2 lines. Now you have to write the story for 8 lines. So can somebody give me a 4-line story on any picture? Or 4-line story on the same picture? Yes, good.
This is Bharatanatyam. It is very famous in Tamil Nadu, and even in our auditorium they have performed it.
Okay, good. Essentially, I was just trying to give an example. Here you have to imagine something. What imagination you can have? You have to go back to past. And this is just an example, because I'm not a psychologist, I'm an interviewing officer. Somebody can start a story. This is the story of Sita, who was born in a very poor family. Her father, despite their poverty, encouraged her to dancing. Then she continued dancing through her school and college. And now she is performing in a live audience where thousands and thousands of people have come. And then, this performance is being appreciated. And subsequently, later she becomes a very renowned dancer and she gets a prize from President of India. So this is a story which is about 6 lines. Are you getting my, have I given you an example? So this is how a psychologist sees. If you write 2-line story, your chances of selection are less. And these tests are coming in corporate organizations also. So this is where I gave you example of a table. In psychology tests, there are some negative words also. So you have to be careful. There is a word called hate. So now under pressure, you will write, I hate my mother. Somebody will write, I hate DDG. So those are the examples where somebody gets a peek into your psyche. So you have to be careful in how you respond. So what is a good response for hate? Anybody wants to try a sentence for hate which is a good response or better response? Anybody? Yes, good.
I hate consuming alcohol.
Oh, good. Well done, brilliant. Let's clap for him. I'm impressed. I hate consuming alcohol. That's a good line. No, good. It's a good response. It indicates awareness about a problem of society. So these are good responses. This is where you have to avoid the trap of negative words, which can trap you. Okay. I think most of you have understood the psychology test, good rest, presence of mind, devoting all the time possible, and that will only take you through a psychology test. Once you finish psychology test, this finishes part 3 of my talk, and then here we shall take a short break of 2 minutes so that you all can stretch, and I will take some rest. I will start my talk in 2 minutes. Whosoever is seated can start the talk. Anybody who is out, doesn't matter. No, normally, I'll take you.
I request everyone to maintain silence. Please maintain silence and stay inside the auditorium. I repeat, please maintain silence and stay inside the auditorium.
Good afternoon. Okay, good. So now we have seen part 3 of our talk, which was psychology test. Let me walk you to part 4 of my talk, which is GTO tests. What are GTO tests? GTO tests are tests which are conducted in a group. As I have mentioned, upon completion of stage 1, normally 30 to 40 candidates are retained, who are all given chest numbers of 1 to 40. These 40 will get divided into 4 groups. Chest number 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, and 31 to 40. Now, on day 3, in the morning, your GTO test 1 starts. Things to keep in mind, you should be in good physical shape. These are the tests which are conducted in group. These tests are in total 9 tests. Has anybody heard of those 9 tests? Has anybody heard 9 tests? Which are the 9 tests? Okay, there are 3 indoor tests, or there are 3 verbal tests. First test is group discussion. Second test is group planning exercise. Third test is lecturate. These are the 3 verbal tests. Then you have ground test, which are progressive group task, half group task, command task, final group task. And last 2 are group obstacle race and individual obstacles. These tests are conducted on day 3 and day 4 of SSB. The dress for this is sports rig. Essentially shorts or skirt, t-shirt, sports shoes. The test starts at 6:30 in the morning. The first time the first group will meet, chest number 1 to 10, and they'll be asked to discuss on a contemporary subject. These GDs are something which happen in a lot of corporate organizations also. And group discussion, basic rule is you should contribute in the group. If you know the subject, you must raise your hand or must take the lead and discuss. If you have to be prepared for a group discussion on a contemporary subject, what you must do is start reading newspaper from now, or start regularly reading newspaper in the morning, watching TV or news in the evening. If you keep yourself abreast of what is happening in the country and the world, your chances of success in GD improves. You are aware of, you can speak on any subject which comes up for discussion. So which is the first GTO test? Group discussion. The first test is group discussion. You may be required to discuss 1 subject or discuss on 2 topics. Second test is group planning exercise. Essentially in this, you are given a situation. Chest number 1 to 10, you will be with a GTO. GTO will call you for a briefing. Okay, pay attention candidates. Chest number 1 to 10. This is a situation. This is a board. You are standing here. This is a road. This is a village. This is a situation. There is a casualty. There is a hospital. How do you take this casualty from here to there? This is one situation. Somebody can give you any other situation also. Things to keep in mind in this is pay attention to the situation, pay attention to the briefing, then try and find a solution to whatever situation is on ground. Because in military life also, in day-to-day, you have a lot of situations which you encounter. You are in Siachen, you have 2 enemies that side, you have to attack him, you have to defend yourself, you have 10 soldiers. So only when you can show your ability on a GPE, group planning exercise, then you probably can do it in real life. So which is the second test we spoke about? Group planning exercise. These are the 2 verbal tests where you're not running around or doing something. You are in a classroom, you can be under a tree, or you can be in a shade also. The third test like this is lecturate. Lecturate is something on which you will be given 3 topics. You are required to choose 1 subject and speak to your group for 3 minutes. So in lecturate, the same group of 1 to 10 will be called, and you will be given chest number 1. These are your 3 subjects. You go under a tree, prepare for 3 minutes, come back and speak to your colleagues or candidates. Topics are of varying complexity. One of them is a high-level subject, one of them can be a medium level, one of them can be a very common subject. Choose whichever subject you're comfortable with, and then organize your thoughts for 3 minutes, and then speak for 3 minutes to your fellow candidates. Don't choose a complicated subject and speak 1 sentence. 3 minutes means at least you should be able to speak for 10 to 12 sentences at least. How do you prepare for a lecturate which can happen 6 months later or 12 months later? By being abreast of what is happening in the world, by taking interest in whatever is happening, reading newspaper, watching television, watching news, thinking and understanding whatever is happening. What is happening in Israel, Palestine, what is Hamas, what is Russia, Ukraine. These are contemporary subjects on which somebody can ask you to speak. When I was in the SSB, Indo-US nuclear strategy was being discussed, or G20 somebody may give you, nature, environment. These are subjects on which anybody can ask you to speak. Now you will not know what subject will come. What you can know is you can keep regularly preparing yourself, updating yourself. Have you understood? So we are on the group test. We have discussed 3 tests so far. The first one was group discussion. Second one? Third one? Okay, good. So how you should prepare? Read regularly, watch TV, news regularly, stay updated, prepare in front of the mirror. If you have to speak in front of an audience of 10, the best person to speak first is in front of a mirror. Choose a subject. The way you chose a picture and made a story, and I gave you an example. Now you choose a subject. You say, okay, G20. If somebody asks me to speak, what will I speak? Oh, I know nothing. It means you start reading now. Again, tomorrow you will read something in the newspaper. May come as a subject, you never know. Should India play more cricket? Should India play less cricket? So little knowledge about everything will help you. Cricket may not come in the GD because it's a military GD. So there'll be a related subject. Should India buy a 4th aircraft carrier? Is Rafale useful for our Air Force? Why are we so colonial mindset in our military? So you never know. These are some things I'm just speaking offhand. The best way to prepare for a GD, lecturate, or anything for a military world, for a company, is to stay abreast. As you regularly read, as you regularly write or speak, you are preparing yourself for any interview, whether it is SSB, whether it is Reliance, whether it is TCS, whether it is any other organization. Having seen the 3 tests, I'll take you to the 4 tests which are called progressive group task, half group task, command task, and final group task. Now essentially in the military, in the GTO test, we take you to the field. And there we take you to the ground where there are some test design. That the size of the area could be 5 meter to 5 meter. You are taken to a ground, and then you are supposed to move from this part of the ground to the next part without walking on the ground. You are given some helping material. You are given some wooden pieces. You are given some ropes. They are reasonably tall. You are given a weight which has to move from this side to that side. Using those planks or ropes and some structures which are on the ground. It means how do you put a rope from plank from here to there, climb up, use some principles of lever, principles of applying common sense, being resourceful, the whole group moves from one to another line. Series of these tasks are called progressive group tasks, which the group does in the entire group. Nobody is made a leader, and all of you are asked to move from line A to line B. Then you will move from line B to line C to line D. And that is how you finish 4 series of group tasks, which are progressive group tasks or ground tasks. After you finish this, then the group is divided into two, and now you do half group task. It means half the group is required to move from line A to line B, using some helping material, carrying a load, and following rules and regulations which the group testing officer tells you to do. Then it is a command group task. One of you will be made the leader, will be asked to choose your two teammates, and will be asked to again carry out a task like this. And the last one is a final group task. Again, there is no leader in that group. Now in this group, we see the cohesiveness of the group, who emerges as leader, who is always behind, who is disruptive, who is supportive, who is inquisitive, or who is able to find solution, whose mind is functioning. That is how we see functioning of chest number 1 to 10 in a group. Chest number 1 is not doing well, then she tries to pull chest number 4 down. Chest number 4 only works when she is made the leader. Otherwise, she doesn't work. Chest number 6 always stays behind, is not interested, breaking rules. So these traits are seen when we make you work in these ground tests. Are you with me? So these 4 tests are progressive group task, half group task, final group task, command task, and final group task. If you finish this 4, by this time we have finished 7 tests. Then the last 2 are group obstacle race and individual obstacles. What is group obstacle race? The same group of 1 to 10 will be asked to negotiate series of 6 obstacles. Walk on a beam, climb a wall, jump through a ditch, walk up the nets, and maybe there are 5 or 6 obstacles total. And the entire group has to carry a weight, or carry a rope, or carry something without dropping it to the ground. That is why it is called group obstacle race, where all 4 groups will move simultaneously from this side of the ground to the end of ground, negotiating 6 obstacles and reaching the other side. Some people who are more fit should help others. Some people who are less fit should try and not be a burden. You should listen to rules and regulations. Here, you subconsciously give out a lot of traits. The GTO is also testing the same 15 OLQs, which I mentioned in the beginning. So this is group obstacle race. And the finally, last one is individual obstacles, where there are 10 obstacles which you individually negotiate and earn and get your 55 marks. 1 mark for first obstacle, 2 marks for second obstacle, 3 marks for third obstacle. And there are total 10 obstacles, and you are supposed to finish those 10 obstacles in 3 minutes. They can be a long jump, they can be a high jump, they can be a double ditch, they can be a Tarzan's leap, they can be a Brahma bridge. So that is how these 10 obstacles are. 10 obstacles you are supposed to finish in 3 minutes. And if you are fitter, if you are in good shape, then your chances of finishing these obstacles is higher. You also must use your mind. You cannot go running from one side, go number 2 there, number 3 here, number 4 here. You should have a plan before you negotiate these 10 obstacles, so that you don't lose time running from place A to place B. So certain amount of mental faculty is also tested, in addition to testing your physical faculty. These group tests, which are 9 in number, are conducted over 2 days, day 3 and day 4 of SSB. 6 are conducted on day 1, 3 are conducted on day 2. Sequence is not the way in which I have mentioned. Sequence can be different, and sequence is different. This is the way I have tried to make you remember it, and this is what is group testing. Okay? So can anybody repeat all 9 tests? Anybody? Can anybody repeat all the 9 tests? Yes, good. Please give her a mic. Oh, please give this side a mic.
So total GTO test is 9 tests. First is group discussion and group planning and lecturing. These are
okay. Give it to next candidate. Which are the balance 3 or balance?
So progressive group task, half group task, commanding group task, final group task, groups obstacle race, individual obstacle race.
Okay, good. So this is all GTO tests are all about. If you are aspiring to clear SSB or go for SSB, start doing some walking, start doing some running, start doing some gymming, be in a better shape. Then only you can negotiate all this. Because first requirement of being an officer is to be fitness. First is planning and organizing, of course, but certain level of fitness is required for you to lead, for you to be in armed forces, for you to be, because military is all about working in difficult circumstances. Have you all understood? Little more loudly if you have understood. Have you understood? Okay, good. This part is understood at least. Okay, so this is all about GTO test. And with that, I come to I conclude my part 4 of my talk. And essentially, fitness, continuous reading or constant reading, being up to date, trying to work in a team, trying to being useful in a team. Even if you think that you are the last person in the group, don't give up. Remain useful. Help people. Good attitude is also a good part. Sometimes some bright people are rejected because they are disruptive. They keep giving orders. They are not interested. Nobody else calls them in the group. So don't think that somebody else is having a better chance. GTO has got its own yardstick for selection. So these are some advice, and that is how I conclude part 4. I will take on 2-3 questions now before I move to part 5. Okay, we have a question now.
Sir, group task are seeing the officer, helping mind, give me points. Sir.
Sorry?
Sir, group task, physical effective test, EC2 officer, seeing the helping mind, group task. Officer give 2 points, SSB into.
Okay. Yes. Question is over or started?
Sir,
over? Yes. Okay, good. Thank you. Good question. Question is over? No. Okay, can somebody repeat the question? Who has understood the question? Has anybody else understood the question? I have not understood. You have understood the question? Okay, can you repeat the question in Tamil? Tamil question. Question in Tamil. Who will translate in English? You will translate? Okay. No. Okay. Tamil. Question in Tamil.
Sir, group task வந்துங்க சார் நம்மளுக்கு ஈவெண்ட் கொடுத்துருவாங்க இல்லைங்க சார் அந்த இடத்துல நம்ம ஹெல்பிங் மைண்ட் இருந்துச்சுன்னா ஆஃபீஸர் பார்க்குற இடத்துல நம்மளுக்கு மார்க் கிடைக்கும்.
Okay, good. Who will translate this question in English for me? Everybody is laughing. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Can anybody translate this question in English? You are translating?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Sir, as you said, you need to respect and helping tendency. In the event if you have a helping tendency, if the marks were allotted or not, that is his question, sir.
Okay, understood. See, don't worry about allotment of marks. That you will never know. If you are in a group of, say, 1 to 10 seated there, helping is a good attitude. Because helping will get you marks in cooperation. If you see factor 2, there is an OLQ called cooperation. If you are cooperating, it is good. So there is no harm. And military is all about working in teams. Every time you cannot be leader. So if you are leader, apply your mind. But if you are not leader, please help. Okay? Good. Thank you. Anybody else?
Sir, I too have one question, sir.
Yes.
Sir, what are the day-to-day procedures, skills and logical reasonings, thinkings were to be initiated and developed to write the exams and to proceed in the events?
You see, once you... See, in SSB, you can apply after class 12th or after graduation. If you have been an active student, it means if you are studying in class and have cleared a board exam, have got reasonably good marks, have good understanding of a subject, if you are playing some games, if you are taking interest in some extracurricular activity, it is possible that these OLQs are already there. If you are reading little newspaper every day, taking part in some activity, these OLQs will come in. Only some students are dancing on top, only some students are becoming MC. So automatically if you have been a class monitor, if teacher trusts you, teacher gives you some, okay, come here, you do this with these students, it is possible that these OLQs are there with you. So if you take interest in what is happening in your college or school and are aware of what is happening in the world around you. World around you means if you are interested in military or army, then you should read little about army. If you are interested in Navy, read about Navy. So then you will grow up as a person and you will be selectable. So I don't think you have to do anything different. Okay? Sorry. Good. Thank you. Intelligent question. Anybody else? Last question. Yes.
Sir, is there any negative marks, sir?
Okay, please sit down. See, don't worry about negative marks, positive marks, what the instructor is going to give you. This capsule is to make you aware of the process, to make you aware of the OLQs, to make you aware of the test. Don't think of what the assessor is going to do or whether he is going to give you negative or positive. Interview, I will talk about. Group test, do whatever best is being done. Listen to the briefings, do your best possible. Psychology test, do your best possible. If you start worrying about negative, positive, you will not be able to do the test. So that is my advice. Okay? Don't worry. Okay. So with that, we come to end of part 4 of my talk. Now I'll take you to part 5 of my talk. And who will say what is part 5? Part 5 of my talk. Anybody? Yes, good.
Interview.
Interview technique. Brilliant. Which college are you from?
VCEW.
Same college?
Miller College for Women.
Vellalar College. Okay, okay. Don't say VCW only. Okay, okay, good. Vellalar College. Indumati is from your college? Where is Indumati? Passed away. That Vivekananda video she had sent. Are first cadet whom I had spoken to on video call. Okay, okay. So now we are on interviewing technique. So we conduct interview also in addition to psychology testing and group testing. These interviews are conducted in corporate world also. Any company you go, first thing they do is take your interview. An interview is a technique to assess suitability throughout over a larger period of time. In school, teacher, interview. Any job, interview. For any degree you apply, they take an interview. So interviewing is a very old technique and it continues to remain in vogue. The first time people they ask you questions. So I will talk about what happens in a military interview or what happens in SSB. Is that okay? Will it be useful to you? Will it be useful to you? What's your name? What's your name?
Nadia Astri, sir. Nadia Astri, sir.
Loudly.
Nadia Astri, sir.
You have to speak loudly.
Nadia Astri, sir.
She's your teacher? Yes, sir. You only listen to her. Okay, so essentially in SSB, the interview is of 45 to 50 minutes. Interviewing officer also has a copy of PIQ which you have submitted. Now, I have conducted interview of 2,000 candidates at least as a deputy president and president of SSB at Visakhapatnam and Coimbatore. Before I become an interviewing officer, I have undergone a course. At DIPR Delhi, I had to write a theory exam, do a 4-week course, qualify that exam, where not everybody passes. Then I have done practical training for taking interviews, like an internship. That also not everybody passes. So having qualified both theory and practical, then I become an interviewing officer. Now when I take an interview can happen on either after psychology test or on GTO testing first day or GTO testing second day. It is normally happens between 11 to 5 or 11 to 6 at an SSB center. When I prepare for an interview, I have a folder where your documents are there with me. I also have a copy of PIQ form. Based on PIQ form, I prepare a jotting sheet in which I plan how I should interview to get those assessment of your 15 OLQs. But normally an interview is structured in 4 parts. The first part I do is rapport building, in which I build a rapport with a candidate who comes to me. Are you all with me? Yes, sir. Who all are with me? Okay, okay, you have to say yes or no. Or who all are with me? Yes? Or no, how many cadets are still listening? Or how many are sleeping? Okay, most of you are awake. Should I continue or should I break off? Continue, sir. Okay. So we are on the 5th part, interviewing technique. As I mentioned, interview is in 4 to 5 parts. When I take an interview, when a candidate comes, I first do a rapport building. And this will happen in an outside organization also. So when you walk in, first rule is always wear a good pair of dress. Salwar kurta, sari maybe, or whatever is convenient. Saris and all may not be convenient. Trouser, shirt. So anything in which you can present yourself in a better manner. Carry your document folder where all your documents are neatly arranged. Knock, knock, enter, good morning sir, good afternoon sir. Formality is always essential, especially in military. The interviewing officer will ask you to take your seat. Please be seated, good afternoon. And then interviewing officer will ask you routine questions. This part of interview is called rapport building, where we are trying to make the candidate comfortable. So, hello bete, where are you from? How was your journey? Tell me something about yourself. Which are easy questions where the candidate is free to talk. He doesn't have to think too much. Idea is candidate has to become comfortable, then only we can ask him some information where we are able to assess his personality. The first rule is remember that as you enter the chamber of an interviewing officer, your interview has already started. And while interviewing officer will make you comfortable, you should not become, anybody, any guess? While interviewing officer job is to make you comfortable, you should not become
nervous or afraid.
Okay, she's saying you should not become nervous or afraid. Any other answer? Okay, she's saying too comfortable. Okay, that is what I was looking at. While he's trying to make you comfortable, you should not become too comfortable. You should not become casual. Okay? Remember, you have gone for an interview, so you have to be on your guard. The second rule of interviews is you should think 2-3 steps ahead of interviewing officer. If he says, what is your name? What can be the next question he can ask you? What is the meaning of your name? Who has given you this name? Where do you come from? Salem. Tell me something about Salem. Sir, actually I am not from Salem. So you think before you talk. If you say Trichangood, then say something about Trichangood. Or Tiruchan, probably I don't get the spelling, pronunciation. So remember, any interview, the moment you enter the chamber, be formal, don't be too comfortable, be on your guard, see what can his next question, anticipate his next question and then answer. Then you will be always on the right track. So first part is rapport building. Interviewing will say, okay, please be seated, there's a glass of water, be comfortable, don't worry bete, don't worry. So he will make you comfortable. Then in the military, we come to part 1 of, the second part of interview is CIQ 1, where we ask you about education and other associated aspects. And we ask you a series of questions. Suppose you tell me about your education starting from class 10th onwards, building up to your present level of education. Talk about grades achieved in various exams, efforts put in, some of the subjects you have chosen for various career options. Talk about sports and extracurricular activity available in school and college, the ones in which you participated, and achievements, if any. Talk about some of the teachers whom you like and some of the teachers whom you don't. Talk about some of your close friends and why do you consider them so. Also about the ones whom you avoid and how has been your education finance. This is what I remember from something called CIQ1, Comprehensive Introductory Question 1, which I used to ask. Now as a candidate, these questions are meant to assess your intelligence to even understand, then organize your thought and give an answer which is coherent. And here you are supposed to give an answer in the best possible manner. So organize your thought. He's talked about education. Okay, sir, when I was in class 8, I was in Vellalar College. I did physics, chemistry. I was a good student. I used to play football. I used to play volleyball. Then I came to 11th. I continued in the same college. I was in NCC. Then I wrote so-and-so exams. And that is how you are narrating your life story about education and other associated aspects. After you have given out your story or your whatever you have to say, now the interviewing officer will ask you questions. He will ask you questions to fill up the gaps in his information. So which all exams you wrote after 12th? Why have you got only 41% or 59% in so-and-so exam? Why have you chosen swimming? Which are the games you are playing? Educate. Because this part he is dealing with education, sports, friends, teachers, your life in school and college. Are you with me? So essentially, an interviewing officer is saying, how well have you used facilities which you have come your way? Somebody can be from a poor family, but still trying to do something to do better. Why have you got less marks? Why have you got more marks? Why have you chosen badminton? Why didn't you choose football? Are you scared of team games? After he understands your education, sports, friends, family, then he wants to see your interest. So why do you want to join the Navy? Sir, I want to join. So you should have some answer, provided you have gone for a naval interview. Why have you come to Reliance? Sir, Reliance, because Reliance is a good company, or Reliance has got so-and-so. I've been buying Reliance products. Reliance Jio is a progressive item or something. So, wherever you go to a company, whenever you go to an SSB, people ask you, why have you come to Navy? Why do you want to join Air Force? Sir, I want to join the Air Force because I want to fly. What do you want to fly? Sir, you should be able to rattle out 5 aircraft if you want to fly. Are you with me? So if you say, I want to join the Navy, why do you want to join the Navy? Sir, my uncle was in the Navy. What was he in the Navy? Sir, uncle is dead now, sir. Then you have only chosen a wrong line of answer. Do you agree? Even if he is dead, you should say, uncle was a petty officer in the Navy. He worked in INS Delhi. He used to bring me crest from INS Delhi. I also want to command INS Delhi one day. So then, it is showing it is closing the loop. So whichever answer you give to an interviewing officer about your education, sports, anything, you must be able to close the loop. Why did you choose badminton? Sir, my sister used to play. How many times have you played badminton? Many times, sir. When did you last play? 18 years back, sir. How old are you? Sir, 19. So it means, again, you have wasted your time answering about badminton which you played 12 years back. How much can you run? Lot of distance, sir. Is it a good answer? You have to say kilometers at least. How much time? Sir, I run 5 kilometers. How much time you take? I don't know, sir. Again, you have given you have presented yourself in a poor manner. I don't know, sir. How can you not know? If you are running 5 kilometers, you must know how much time you take. Do you take 2 hours? Do you take 1 hour? Are you all understanding this part? Is it relevant? So any company you go, anywhere you go, people will ask you questions about you, your past, how well have you used your time, resources, funds, facilities, and everything else. And then, why have you come for this interview? How do you find yourself suitable? Once you finish this part 1 or education and associated aspects, the interviewing officer will take you to next part of the interview where he will ask you about your family. Tell me about your parents, brother, sister, how do you spend time together, whom do you approach for help when you have a problem, in whom do you confide, how much pocket money do you get, how do you spend it, what are some of your happiest moments of life and saddest moments of life. You may start with your family. This is how I used to speak. Somebody may speak in a different manner. So little knowledge of English also will help, although Hindi also may help, Tamil also may help. So again, you have to speak about your family. So whatever you understand, you answer. My father is a teacher, he works in so-and-so school, my mother is a homemaker, my brother is so-and-so, my sister is so-and-so, I do this at home. So this is how people are figuring out and trying to assess your personality. So how many sisters do you have? So 2 sisters. Who is smarter? Now it's a trap. If you say your sister is smarter, then your chances are reducing. If you say both of us smart, then say, okay, tell me how both of you are smart. So that is how people ask you some questions. So what is your father like in you? Or what do you like in your father? Tell me 3 qualities which you like in your father. That can be one question. What is the last advice your father gives you? What does your father normally tell you? Which advice he tells you to focus on? Sir, my father asked me to focus on working hard. Why? Sir, I get up at 8, I sleep at 8. So he'd ask me to get up early. So you have to, these are the ways in which somebody is trying to assess your personality on how well do you use your time, how well have you used your facilities, how well have you done well, how have you conducted yourself thus far. Once we finish to family, then he brings you to hobbies, spare time interest, books you read, TV channels you watch, websites you normally access. How do you keep yourself fit? How do you keep yourself updated? What is your routine on a working day? What is your routine on a Sunday? Essential to see how well do you utilize your time. For if you are aspiring for a defense officer, you have to present yourself in a little better manner. You can't say, I get up at 8, then my mother gives me breakfast, my papa brings me newspaper, then 10 o'clock I decide to go to college, I normally bunk the first period, then I start with second. So those are not the better ways of presenting. How well have you prepared for SSB? Sir, I have not prepared. Why have you come? Sir, I thought let me come. So your interview will get over faster than you think. So if you're aspiring for a career in armed forces as a defense officer, then you know everybody is assessing you on those 15 QLQs. How well do you present yourself? And whether do you have it in you to start with, then only you should apply. Once you finish with last part, which all books do you read? Sir, I read many books. Which is the last book you have read? Sir, I read books of comics when I was class 8. That is again, you have not presenting a good personality. If you have read a book, which book have you read? Tell me what do you remember of the book. What have you learned from the book? If you have not read it, it's okay. So that is how, whatever you answer, you have to remember that there can be a probing question. And then he'll say, okay, what is happening in the world? Any news which has got your attention? If you go to Reliance, they'll say, what is happening in Reliance? Any news of Reliance has caught your attention? So these are normal interview questions. If you apply for a job of a teacher here, they'll ask you, what do you know about this college? Why do you want to work here? Sir, I was a student here. So there is a connection. Or there is some interest. So that is what people are trying to assess. And once you finish about what is happening in the world and what is happening in the country, then people say, tell me about yourself. What are your 3 strengths in your personality and what are the 3 areas you would like to improve in your personality? So who will take this try? What are the 3 strengths in your personality? Who wants to answer this question? Anybody? Who wants to answer this question? Okay, oh. Yes, yes. We have met before?
Yes, sir.
We have met before
Sir,
anywhere
Guard of
else?
Honor. Sir, while I was doing PC.
Guard of Honor?
Yes, sir.
The parade commander?
Yes, sir.
Before that we have not met?
No, sir.
Which college are you from?
Sir, I am from Congo Engineering College, sir.
KEC?
Yes, sir.
Perundurai?
Yes, sir.
How come I have never seen you? I have come to that college so many times. You're not a shooter?
No, sir.
Okay, okay, good. So she is attempting a question. What are 3 strengths in your personality? Am I right?
Yes,
okay, good. Well done.
Sir, so I can manage my any situation, and I can able to manage the situation, and I can able to coordinate with that situation, and I am a good group team worker, and I have a good leadership quality, so I can lead a team better.
Okay, okay, good, good. Let's clap for her. She has taken initiative, she has self-confidence, she has got up to stand and speak in front of 1,000 candidates. My God, she is smarter than me at least. It has taken me 35 years to stand in front of 1,000 people. She is standing now only. Okay, good. So anybody else? If somebody asks you in an interview, what are 3 strengths in your personality? Who will answer this? Anybody? Good.
Sir, I can speak boldly in front of everyone, and I can sing well, and I will coordinate the team as well. I can do.
Okay, okay. Okay, good. I think singing well may not be a good example of personality when somebody is asking about strengths. But essentially, strengths are normally sincerity. Sir, I'm trustworthy, I'm friendly, I'm approachable, I'm hardworking, I'm loyal, I'm committed. What else can you talk about? So these are things. But an interviewing officer will ask you, tell me give me examples from my life which will indicate that you are sincere. See, once you say this, it is not an end of an answer. Now interviewing officer will ask you something more. You say you are smart, you have leadership quality. Now that is the answer she gave. So tell me, madam, how do you say that you have leadership quality? That will be the next question. So what are 3 strengths in your personality? Anybody this side? Come. What are 3 strengths in your personality? Mike is with you now, you have to stand up. Anything. What are 3 strengths in your personality?
Sir, I'm a keen learner.
Loudly.
I'm a clean learner, sir.
Keen learner, okay. Good. Let's clap for her. So she's saying she's a keen learner. So interviewing officer will ask, give me examples which will indicate that you're a keen learner. So what is one strength in your personality? No.
I will be bold everywhere, sir.
Loudly.
I can speak everywhere boldly.
Okay, okay, good. Let's clap for her also. So, tell me, is this question difficult? Question is a simple one. All of us have so many qualities, that's why we are seated here. That's why we come for an interview. But the problem is in the answer we give. And sometimes such simple questions also we are not able to answer well. So that is where preparation will help you in qualifying an interview. The tricky question is, what are 3 areas you would like to improve in your personality? Who will attempt this? Good, well done. Let's clap for her. This is a...
Sir, time management, sir. Time management, sir. Then consistency, sir. That's it. I want to improve myself.
Okay, good. Well done. Good answer. This is brilliant. Time management. Consistency. Very good. What degree? What degree are you pursuing? Computer science. So what do you want to be in life?
Sir, I want to become a software engineer.
Software engineer. Okay, okay, good. Brilliant. So these are good answers. Time management, all of us have struggled with. Consistency, temperament, anger management, patience. These are something which a young adult goes through. If you say, I steal, I'm lazy, So those are pits, or those are unnecessary traps that you put yourself. So you have to be careful in the way you present yourself. And all of us are equally smart. It just, the difference is in the answers you give, and all of us are always working on something. So with that, I come to the end of part 5 of my interview. Some of the key takeaways for interviews are: have a separate set of clothes, present yourself in the best possible manner, go with a decent haircut if possible, carry a good folder, arrange all your certificates, organize yourself, organize about your life, organize how do you present yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your family, your friends, your teachers, your past. Why have you got less marks? Why have you got more marks? Your degrees, your exams which you have attempted, what was going on in your life, what changes have happened, your interest in joining Army, Navy, Air Force, this company or anything else. So once you present yourself, then you leave it to the interviewer to decide whether you are suitable or not. Now, interviewing is a personal and confidential interaction between you and the interviewing officer. So feel free to talk. Don't hesitate in sharing sensitive information, because it is only between you and the interviewing officer in a chamber. And whatever you share, it doesn't matter. He will note it down, he'll assess your personality, and it gets destroyed. But you cannot say, sir, this I cannot share, this I cannot share. Then he'll say, why have you come for the interview? And it depends on what opens up, how the interview progresses, which aspect of life it touches, where you are required to give an answer, and then you will be told. So it's okay. If you don't give, it doesn't matter, because, your suitability for selection, he may not select you if he is not convinced. But I'm saying is, don't hesitate in sharing an information. So tell me some happiest moments of life. Very simple. Saddest moments of life. Now again, sir, actually, this happened when I was 13. So what happened? Sir, I don't want to tell you. So then why did you mention it? Are you getting you understood? So suppose some discussion happens on a sensitive issue, please feel free to share, because it is only between you and him or her for the purpose of interview. Honesty is recommended. You must be honest about your marks, your participation, sports and other things. But be careful in how you open up, and be careful in how you present yourself. Normally I ask a question in the beginning of interview. How was your journey? Don't mention, sir, my ticket was not there, I had to pay a bribe, then only I got a berth. Even if you had to do it in real life, this is best avoided in an interview. How was the journey? Journey was comfortable, son. Which all states did the train pass through? Have some answers. How do you spend your time? I was preparing, I was thinking about what will happen. I was reading a book. Those are better answers. Rather than saying, sir, I didn't know what to do, I was getting bored, my neighbors were shouting, there were North Indians on top, South Indian down below, and I found it difficult to adjust. That is not the best way to go through an interview. Okay? So with that, I have come to end of part 5, and now have the last part of my talk, which is, anybody remembers? Conference procedure. You have gone through LQs, you have gone through stage 1, you have gone through 3 techniques: psychology technique, group testing, and interview technique. Conference is the place which happens on the last day. The assessment in an SSB is done in compartments. What is compartments? The interviewing officer does not know who is the psychologist. If I am interviewing her, I do not know who is the psychologist and who is the GTO for her. That is how the sanctity of selection system is maintained. If I am interviewing chest number 1, 4 and 8, I will not know who is the GTO, who is a psychologist. Only in a conference, before a candidate comes, they come in sequence. Chest number 1. Before chest number 1 comes, somebody will read about chest number 1. Then all the 3 assessors, which is the GTO, the psychologist and the interviewing officer, will read marks or his personality. If chest number 1, 4 and 8, or suppose chest number 1 comes in, before 1 comes in, the 3 assessors will read the marks. Either he is selected by all 3 or not selected by all 3. If he is selected by all 3, he is passes. If he is not selected, then he does not qualify. With me? But what has happened in few years back, about 10 years back, that there was a shortage of officers in the armed forces. And very fewer numbers were getting selected in SSB. So they, what's a good name?
Sir, Rohit.
Rohit. Which school are you from?
Sir, Spectrum Life.
So do you want to become an officer in armed forces?
Yes.
Or say loudly.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good. So Rohit wants to become an officer in armed forces. He's starting ahead. He's starting early. And he's in class 8 now or 9th, I think. So we are talking about conference. This is the first time that before a candidate comes, the IO, GTO and psychologist read the marks awarded to that candidate. If the candidate is passed by all 3, he is selected. If he is not passes by all 3, he is not selected. But few years back, when there was a shortage of officers in the armed forces, we introduced a concept of discussion zone. We said that we will discuss candidates who are cleared by 1 and marginally not cleared by other 2, or cleared by 2 and marginally not cleared by 1. So during conference, before the candidate came, we used to discuss such candidates, and then such candidates, we used to ask them some questions in conference also, when the assessor who had not cleared him used to make up his mind to either clear him or not clear him. So in conference also, in case you reach this stage, be careful. Don't get scared seeing so many military officers seated there. Be confident. Be alert. Answer questions. Whatever is put up to you. Same happens in companies also. When you go for various rounds of interview. Final round, you will have a board of people. So same thing happens in a conference. And that is how conference also is a 4th technique. It is also a procedure where sometimes a candidate cleared by all 3 techniques may also fail. In case he has broken some rules in the SSB, he has been whiling away time, he has violated some rules, or something new has emerged. Finally, in conference, all the results are finalized, and upon completion, the results are announced. You are either selected, then you go for medicals, and if you are not selected, then you are sent home, or you go back to your institution. And with that, we come to end of part 6 of my talk, and that is the end of today's talk. I have 10 more minutes to take on any questions which you may have. Okay, so before I take on questions, let me see your hands. How many of you are aspiring to become an officer in the armed forces? Hands up. Okay, good. Put your hands down. Please put your hands down. Okay, so I'll take out any questions if you have, and let's have questions now.
Jain sir, myself Flight Cadet Afiz Ahmed from Excel Engineering College. So my question is, in stage 1, they will ask particular questions those are not basic intelligence questions. So we have to prepare for that question, so naturally we can answer those questions.
No, in stage 1 there are 2 intelligence tests.
Yes, sir.
And there is a picture perception and discussion test.
Okay, sir.
Picture perception is same as psychology test. You are shown a picture, you have to write a story. An intelligence test is an intelligence test. So there is no question-answer session.
No, sir. Those need more intelligence, not the basic intelligence.
Can you repeat your question?
No, sir. In that stage, so naturally we can clear that, or we need any preparation for that?
Of course, you need preparation. Once I have told you that there are 200 cadets or candidates reporting for stage 1 and only 40 are getting retained, of course you have to have preparation. I also gave you tips on what you should prepare.
Sir.
Arrive a day early, be in a good mental state, rest well, prepare for intelligence test.
Yes, sir.
Even perception of picture, I gave you an example of that picture. You can write 2 lines or you can write 8 lines, that picture.
Yes, sir.
We discussed this picture.
Yes, sir.
Somebody wrote 2 lines, somebody wrote 4 lines, somebody wrote 8 lines. Which story will have better chance?
More lines.
More lines and a better sequence of lines. So that is where when you read a story of 8 lines and you're wearing a good set of clothes and looking smart, somebody will say yes or doubtful at least. So if you have got OIR 1, 2, 3, you have greater chance of selection. If you write 2 lines, speak 1 line, intelligence rating also low, then you will come to your college faster than you think. So of course preparation is required. That is why your institution and we are standing here. Good question. Chaliye. Anybody else? Yes, brilliant.
Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind.
I am flying cadet Harike, KSR IT. Sir, my question is, which part is the SSB's most toughest part? Or this part is we are I have clearly studied, or in case we are not clearly studied, we can pass SSB interview. Which part is that?
You are wasting your time even thinking about this.
Okay, sir.
You know this is SSB. You put your best foot forward in whichever part possible.
Okay,
see, suppose like I didn't share, I qualified SSB second time. I was in Sane School, Telaya. I went for SSB after qualifying NDA written exam. I went for SSB. Then I went on GTO test. I went on Tajan sleep. I went up, I got scared. I came down, I didn't jump. In conference, I got scared, so many military officers. My SSB, I did not qualify. When I looked back, I said, maybe those 2 places I have to improve. Next time I qualified because I jumped. And I said, let me not get nervous. Nobody will shoot me there. So I'm saying that you thinking of which part is toughest and all is not a good way of thinking. Correct way of thinking is, how can I present myself in the best possible manner in whichever part is possible. How much time you have? 6 months. You have to qualify your exam, you have to write your exam here, you have to write that. Then you can only give so many hours for SSB preparation. In that, you cannot read everything. You can only read little. You may land up in a GD where you know nothing about the subject. Doesn't matter. GP, pay attention. You cannot change your personality overnight. You can improve it and present it in a better manner in 6 months. Okay? So that question you think in a different manner. Okay?
Okay,
good,
sir.
Good, well done.
Thank you.
Good. Any SW cadet? Yes? Good. Loud. I'm bringing the mic here, madam. Just pass the mic.
Jain sir, I am Cadet M. Kamleshwari. My question is, in interview, how we will answer for the unknown questions?
Her question is, how do you answer unknown questions? So what is the answer? I don't know, sir. If you don't know the answer, you have to attempt to think. If you can't think, you pass. Is that your question? Unknown questions means the question whose answer you don't know. Now tell me about your father. That question you cannot say, I do not know. Are you getting me? Interview is all about your life. Most questions you would know the answer. The way in which you give an answer is what differentiates a selectable material. Tell me about your father. You will say, my papa is taxi driver. Then you finish. You could have spoken 3 lines. My father drives a taxi. He earns 10,000 rupees. Despite being poor, he is able to support all the children. I am proud of him. 4 lines is a better answer than saying, sir, papa is a taxi driver. Are you getting me? How you can convert a question to a selectable answer? Are you getting these examples? So every answer which you give, you can show your substance. Whether you are made of wheat or you're made of chaff. Madam, yes? So give me some. So how was my talk today? Darshini will give some feedback.
Sir, it is very motivative, sir. Sir, it is very motivate ourselves, sir.
Good, thank you. Okay, good. So any other question? Yes.
Jain sir.
Jai Hind.
Myself, Flight Cadet Mohan from KEC, sir. Sir, once we passed SSB and we go for medicals, and if we fail there, what's next, sir?
If we fail there, then what should you do?
Yes, sir.
Go back to college or home?
Sir, no other way, sir. I passed SSB and I went for medicals. If I fail medicals, what should I do next, sir?
Go back home. See, today, what is happening? See, this is life. You qualify written, you go for SSB. Stage 1, not qualified, go home. Stage 2 qualified, go for medicals. Medicals not qualified, go home. Medicals qualified, go for military. After 1 year problem, go home again. So this is all life. It can happen in any company, it can happen in any organization. So you have to just not give up. See, life is all about perseverance. People who are standing in front, are ED here, principals here, have not had it easy. They have gone through failures and success. Okay, last question. Yes.
Sir, myself, Flight Cadet Divas Sangrasa from KEC, sir.
Quiet.
Sir, the degree which you are pursuing in college, in which part of the interview it will help us or which will support us?
Okay, good. Essentially, his question is, the degree which you are pursuing in college, which part of interview will it help us? So if you are pursuing BTech CSE and you go for an SSC IT entry, then it looks like you have chosen a correct career. If you have chosen SSC education, still a correct career. So this is where somebody will ask you, how will this degree help you in working in the Navy? What degree are you pursuing? AI? Okay. So, artificial and data analysis. So, tell me something about a degree. Last answer. Okay, this is the last part. Essentially, his question is, if you are pursuing a degree, how will it help you in interview? Tell me something about AI. Tell me about DA. How is AI being used in the military? How is AI being used in the civil world? Which aspect of AI can you incorporate in the military? How can you serve the Navy better with DA? This is where your meat will show whether you have understanding of a degree, have you been sleeping in the college, or have you understood? And then, do you have an understanding of how will you serve the Navy? That is where you will make an impression. So this is where your part 1 of interview, where you're talking about education. And then people ask you also, suppose you don't get into military, where will you work? Sir, I've got 3 more companies to work, I'll work there, doesn't matter. Okay? Sir. Thank you very much. You all have been lovely audience. Thank you for all your attention. Thank you for all your time.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. Your presence has left a lasting impact on all of us. Once again, thank you, sir. Now, I extend my delightful welcome to Ms. Jeevitha Kalechelvan, ma'am, CTO, 15 TN Battalion, to deliver the vote of thanks.
ஹலோ ஆனில் தானே இருக்குது. ஹலோ செக் செக். ஹலோ எக்ஸ்கியூஸ் மீ.
Good afternoon to one and all gathered here. Appreciation is the highest form of progress. For it, acknowledge the presence of good wherever you shine the light of your thankful thoughts. Today, I take this opportunity to put my gratitude into words for the person who have given their massive support for the successful completion of this grand event. I would like to express unpretentious thanks to our esteemed Chairman and Secretary, Professor Dr. M. Karnanidhi, and the entire management of Vivekananda Education Institutions and Hospitals for their constant encouragement in all our endeavors. I would like to express my unforgotten thanks to our chief guest of the day, Commodore Atul Kumar Rastrogi sir, Deputy Director General, NCC Directorate, Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and Andaman Nicobar, by sparing his valuable time for shaping and sharpening the young minds towards their goal. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to convey my magnanimous thanks to Professor S. Kuppaswamy, Executive Director of Vivekananda Education Institutions, for his supervision and inspiring us every time. Thank you, sir. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the Principal of Vivekananda College of Engineering, Dr. K.C.K. Vijay Kumar, sir, and Principal of Vivekananda College of Arts and Science for Women Autonomous, Dr. P. Baby Shakila, ma'am, for their constant support and navigating us every time. I also would like to acknowledge my sincere gratitude to the Group Captain V. Muruganandam sir, Commanding Officer of 5TN Squadron, Technical NCC Salem, for arranging this function in our premises, making this event a huge success. Thank you, sir. Now, I take pride in thanking all the commanding officers, administrative officers, PI staffs of 11 Signal Corps NCC, 12 Tamil Nadu Battalion NCC, 15 Tamil Nadu Battalion NCC, and 5 Art Squadron Technical NCC. And I also extend my sincere thanks to the principals of various colleges and Vivekananda Education Institutions, HODs, faculty members, teaching and non-teaching members, and the cadets and students of Vivekananda Education Institutions for performing such an enthusiastic cultural program. And I also thank press and media members. At last, my dear friends and colleagues, who has been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated throughout the program. Thank you all. Last but not least, I thank the entire NCC cadets of various squadrons and battalions and the participants of Vivekananda Education Institutions for their active participation. I'm sure that our institution will continue to get significant occasion in the future. Let this journey expand and bring more glory to the future of NCC. Thank you all once again. Jai Hind.
I request everyone to rise up for NCC song followed by national anthem.